Okay, welcome to part two of tonight's live stream. It is the soup du jour.
What's the soup du jour?
Well, Ken, it's the soup of the day.
Mm, that sounds good. I'll have that.
Well, we have a good one for you tonight because it's another Ryan soup tonight. It's
That
gonna
sounds
be,
gross.
I know, right? Now that I think about it, last time we talked about Ryan Gosling movies. Tonight we're talking top five Ryan Reynolds films. So, Ken, first, everyone watching should let us know, right? Leave down in the comments, um, your favorite Ryan Reynolds movies. Make a top five, top three, whatever. Just start calling them all out. But Ken, I'll give you first dibs on your favorite Ryan Reynolds movies, or which ones have you seen? I guess.
I was a little light in the cakes when it came to this Ryan Reynolds films top five. So I'm going to have to scrape the bottom of the barrel on this one, and you'll kind of see. But number one is Deadpool and Wolverine. No, I'm just kidding. It's a movie from the future.
From the future, yeah. You've seen it
Shoot.
already. Got
I
advanced showing.
have. I have. You know why? Because I stole something from cable.
There you
So
go. Thanos.
Thanos. Thanos.
Thanos.
All right. My top five Ryan Reynolds films list starts with an honorable mention. This is not really an honorable mention for the movie itself because I thought the movie kind of sucked. Because we covered it in I forget whatever season it was in the Weekly Reel podcast, but I'm going to mention Red Notice
There you go.
only because Nolan Booth, played by Ryan Reynolds, carried that movie. He was actually the only good thing about that movie. Um, he was, I don't know, I felt like Dwayne Johnson and Gal Gadot, uh, was was just very awkward. Like their whole dynamic. I mean, when you watch it on Netflix, you'll see why it was a Netflix movie and not an actual theater experience. I mean, even though it got a like limited release, didn't it?
But I agree with you to a certain degree. I think I like that movie more than you did,
Yeah.
but Ryan Reynolds played a better Nathan Drake than Tom Holland for in Uncharted, you know.
Yes.
I was like,
Yes.
where's the jokey Nathan Drake I want? And then it's like, oh, there he is. He's in a different movie.
Yeah, but Ryan Reynolds, I forget how good he was as Nolan Booth in Red Notice. So that is my honorable mention. So top five now. I have this at number five only because he was really only a glorified cameo. Number five is Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. I wasn't really
Wow,
paying
really
attention to
scraping the
that.
bottom
Yeah,
bottom of the barrel.
I prefaced my list, all right.
Okay. It's like you know how I feel about Fast and Furious.
You know, this one was actually one of the better Fast and the
That's
Furious
true.
movies
That's true.
overall. And I'm not
Okay.
the biggest fan of The Rock as an actor because he literally plays himself all the time. But I don't know if it was because I wasn't really paying attention to the cast or whatever. I was genuinely surprised when Ryan Reynolds showed up, and he was really good in that movie. Obviously, he just plays himself. He basically plays Wade Wilson
Pretty much.
in the Fast and the Furious universe. But I enjoyed his character, and it was a nice breath of fresh air. Even though I don't think it really even needed it. I thought Hobbs and Shaw was actually pretty funny in terms of its dynamic, especially considering it was coming off the heels of Fate of the Furious, and that was arguably the worst one. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
uh, yeah. So that's number five for me. Number four, if we just talked about that movie, again, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel. I actually did like this movie. You'll see how much in part one. I keep saying that in all these top five episodes. I mean, I should know. I edit these episodes on TikTok, but I thought it was pretty well done. He obviously was more of a side character in this movie, but he played his character very well. I won't give any spoilers. That was for part one. Check that out. Number 3, Deadpool 2. I didn't want to have two Deadpool movies as my top two. So, I only have this at number 3 only because I've only seen it the one time. I will be doing a rewatch heading
Oh.
into Deadpool and Wolverine. So Deadpool 2 is number 3 for me. Here's my hot take. I don't know if you've seen this movie. Number 2, I have Free Guy.
I
I
have
didn't
seen
ex-
this movie.
I didn't expect that movie to be as heavy hitting as it
Mm.
was. I enjoyed it very much so, and it was it was a surprise to me how much depth it had. So I enjoyed Free Guy. I thought it was just going to be a stupid Ryan Reynolds movie. But I really enjoyed Free Guy. And so, number 1, to no one's surprise, until July of 2024, I have
There you go.
Deadpool at number 1. Uh, this is the movie that put Ryan Reynolds really on my radar. I was always a hater of Ryan Reynolds. I was like, he's a little overrated.
Mm.
But the second he was kind of dancing off the side of was the railing of the overpass, and he was dancing to Salt and Pepper, he had me as a fan.
There you go. Shoot. Okay. That's a good list considering you haven't seen too many of his movies and your number 5 was literally a cameo. um
Scraping the bottom of the barrel. That should be the title of my TikTok.
yeah, there you go.
You know what? Your list will be obviously more legit than mine because I'm sure you've seen way more Ryan
Well,
Reynolds movies than I have.
just a little bit more, but right now I do want to mention Sean is in the house right now. He made it to the soup, and sorry, Sean, my list does not have Hitman's Bodyguard and all that stuff or the sequel because I haven't seen it yet, so I can't put it on there. Sorry, I know it's gonna be on your list, so go ahead and make your list, and I'll read it out a little bit later. But my honorable mention, you mentioned Free Guy already. Um, I'm gonna say Waiting. So this is kind of a low key early 2000s Ryan Reynolds movie when he hasn't blown up yet. This is I think even pre The Proposal. And so this is but his comedy there is very much still Deadpool-esque. Stars Justin Long in it. It's just about this team of waiters pretty much that get into like hijinks running a restaurant. And if you've ever dealt with people in a workplace, I think this is, it's a movie that you could relate with for sure. So pretty much anybody. So that's my honorable mention. My number 5. I'm going with The Proposal.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm going The Proposal just because it's a rom com it's pretty rewatchable. It's good if you can watch it in groups. I don't know if I like um I don't know if I would watch it by myself or anything like that.
Stop
Just for
lying.
fun. I mean, yeah, probably. But yeah, number 5, The Proposal. Him and Sandra Bullock. It's always good. It's a fun time.
I will admit, that's on my to-do list. I've kind of wanted to watch that movie.
Are you serious? You haven't seen
I
that
haven't
movie?
seen it. That's why it's not on
Oh,
my list.
shoot. Because I remember
Um,
we were watching it one night. You were making grilled cheese
yeah,
for everyone while they were watching The Proposal. I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember that because it
Yeah.
was Valentine's Day, and I was
So
like, I ended up volunteering to make Obviously, if I'm making grilled cheese, I'm not really watching. So,
yeah, you were
um,
playing chef in that moment,
I was
literally.
I know in my head I was doing the whole. I was listening to the chef music while he was making that grilled cheese.
There you go.
But sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. You're good. My number 4 is Safe House with Denzel Washington. I think it's. I think it came out 2011. And my story for this movie, it's not the greatest movie of all time, but the when I watched it, it felt like awesome. I
Mm.
watched I did a double feature. I watched Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance
Wow.
first. So jumping from that movie into Safe House in 2012, I think it was. Um, I remember I watched it in Redwood City, and going from that movie into Safe House made Safe House feel like the greatest like action movie of all time. And I love Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance in a guilty pleasure type of way. But Safe House is I think underrated in my opinion for a Ryan Reynolds movie.
So what you're saying, this was the original Barbenheimer in your universe.
Yeah. Yes. It was Ryan Reynolds and Nicolas Cage. My number 3 is kind of it's anxiety inducing. It's Buried. I've been wanting to show you this movie, I think, since season 1.
Ooh.
It's been on my list. It's pretty much Ryan Reynolds buried underground, and he has to find some way to survive. It's like everyone's horror story of a like nightmare, pretty much. My number 2 might be a surprise. It is Deadpool, the first Deadpool.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, at number 2, and my number 1. Of course, I've been saving it. Green Lantern, 2011. I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. We're going Deadpool 2. I actually like the production value of Deadpool 2 is like so much higher than Deadpool 1. Not saying I think I prefer the simple story of Deadpool 1, but the action and just the overall like kind of vibe
Mm.
and Cable, um I don't know. I just like that's such a good like kind of buddy cop and X-Force.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know, Brad Pitt's in it. You know, you can't beat it.
yeah. Such a memorable appearance, quote
Yeah, like
unquote.
quote unquote for sure. So though, yeah, that's my list.
Oh my god, that was oh, it's pretty good. I was like, I was wondering if you were gonna toss in Green Lantern, and for a second there, you had me there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I know everyone trashes on Green Lantern, even Ryan Reynolds himself, but it's somewhat of a guilty pleasure for me.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, I hate the villain of that movie. That's the main thing I hate.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is, he's serviceable in that movie. So, let's catch up on Sean's comments because we want to remind you that this section of where me and Ken interact with you, the audience, is now called the Simmer, and I'll create a banner for that later. uh, Here, I'll make my way, Sean, with your most recent one. Let's pretend X-Men Origins Wolverine never existed. Dude,
I wanted to toss that as an honorable mention
dude,
because
I
I was
hell
scraping the bottom
forgot.
of the barrel.
Oh God. Honestly, he was the bright lights of that movie.
Yeah.
Like, until they showed his mouth shut. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and they obviously reference it in Deadpool 2 when he's doing the little katana sword play.
And I'm sure we're gonna hear from it in July.
Oh, can't wait.
Yeah.
Sean also says, ball knowledge with the Green Lantern. Sean, you have to let me know though. Do you like Green Lantern at all, or how do you feel about that? I'm curious. Um. Oh, his cameo from Bullet Train, I actually think was better than his cameo in the Fast and Furious
I
Hobbs
was
and
thinking
Shaw.
about it, but I guess for whatever, even though Bullet Train was more recent, I don't know. I just remember the Hobbs and Shaw one.
Okay. I mean, in the Bullet Train, they basically just show his face. He
Yeah.
was Carver the whole
Yeah, I
time.
remember. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that was a good cameo.
That was a good cameo.
Sean's also surprisingly a fan of the Adam Project, which I haven't seen yet. Have you seen it?
That almost made number 5.
Oh
I was thinking
shoot.
about it because I have seen it. I went with the cameo instead. Sorry, Sean. I thought it was pretty good though.
I guess Sean. I guess honorable mention. He did say is Green Lantern. I don't know if that was a joke or not. So let me know if it's
I want to say it was a joke.
okay. Sean. Here's Sean's official top 5 that he cannot change for all of time until until July. So he's got number 5 Proposal, number 4 Free Guy, number 3 Hitman's Bodyguard. Okay. Deadpool 2 and then Deadpool 1 at number 1. Okay. I'm
Kind of a mixture
curious.
between our lists.
Yeah, that's pretty spot on. I'm not angry with that.
Yeah.
Is the Hitman's wife's bodyguard any good?
There's a second one?
Yeah, there's the second one.
What? I don't know. I was zoning in and out of the first one. Maybe I should actually try to sit down and watch it based off of Sean's recommendation, I guess. I'll give it a second try. But
Okay.
I couldn't finish the first one.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. Sean said Green Lantern was so dead that pretty much made sure I was always be Team Marvel, not DC. Okay. I mean, fair enough. I mean, he met Blake Lively on that movie, right? So
Shots fired at DC.
I know. Would I be mad if he came back to be Hal Jordan? Not really.
Yeah.
He
comes back in James Gunn's DCU.
I mean, yeah. It's always a possibility. You never know. James Gunn's a little crazy.
Yeah. Plus, you never know what they might do in the MCU with Deadpool. They might kill him off in this next one. Who knows?
Who knows, man? Heck, he could cameo as Green Lantern in Deadpool and Wolverine if DC let him. I think that would be pretty cool.
That is true because in the MCU there is a world where there's Superman and Batman. Didn't they reference that in a recent IP? I forget which one.
They referenced Superman in the Eternals.
There you go.
There you go. I don't know if anyone else would have remembered that, but
only because we covered it in the podcast. That's the only reason why I remember it.
There you go. Well, Sean also says, I would have left the theater if you came back in the Flash movie. If that's what made you walk out, and not Ezra Miller. Someone needs to think about the priorities. No, I'm just kidding. No. Ezra Miller, his performance was, fine in the Flash.
Yeah.
I think both of us, right? Like, the Flash
hot takes. Hot takes. We both enjoyed the Flash.
Yeah, it's not the greatest movie of all time. It's still better than Green Lantern.
Oh yeah, it's not a very high bar that Ryan Reynolds set with the Green Lantern.
Yeah, that's true. So I mean, that pretty much killed Green Lantern for a while. So I want a good Green Lantern movie.
Is it going to be a movie or is it a TV show that I forget what that whole Gods and Monsters original announcement was with DCU? Wasn't there supposed to be a Deadpool? I mean, not Deadpool. Green Lantern project.
I think a TV show, possibly. I forgot. But I think our first Green Lantern that we're gonna see is, in Superman.
You're right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
It's not gonna be Hal Jordan, I don't think. It's gonna be what's his name? Crap. I mean, I was even just watching him like yesterday. The guy from The Rookie. He was in Firefly. He was in Castle. Crap. What's his name? He's in all James Gunn stuff. He was in Guardians 3. I'm just listing off his whole IMDb. Crap, I'm gonna look him up.
Yeah, go.
God, how do I remember? Nathan Fillion.
Okay,
there we go. I just was watching him. Oh, okay, this is where you lose me, Sean. 6 Underground was still decent. Okay, Ken, have you seen Six Underground?
I have not.
It's a Michael Bay movie
Oh. Ooh.
and made for Netflix,
Mm.
starring Ryan Reynolds and oh man,
Oh, I think I started it. Yeah, I fell asleep.
yeah, dude, that movie, I had high hopes for that movie. I was like, Michael Bay can make a watchable movie when he wants to. Unfortunately, Six Underground wasn't one of them.
So he basically just took a paycheck from Netflix, is what you're saying.
So Sean said John Stewart Green Lantern. No, I think it's gonna be the bowl cut Green Lantern. I forgot his name. So yeah, wrong Green Lantern. That would if Nathan Fillion was playing John Stewart, that would be that would be weird. Definitely not the right casting. But okay.
I'm trying to look it up as you talk.
Yeah, so Nathan Fillion, Green Lantern, I think is one of
Guy
the more
Gardner?
Guy Gardner, that's what it is. He had a bowl
Thank
cut at
goodness for
one point.
Google.
There you go. So I
Oh,
wonder what kind of hair he's gonna have.
speaking of just random DC stuff, have you
Yeah.
seen the that one shot with Superman? The one shot that they get, where he's putting on his boots. Have you
Yep.
seen like the different memes of stuff going on in the background?
Yeah. I like for any DBZ fans, Goku and Vegeta fighting in the background.
Yeah.
I think my favorite is he's in Payless.
Yeah, that dude, you stole my thunder. That was my favorite one too. That
Because
one.
honestly, is it
Oh.
like, does it make me less excited for the movie? No.
Mhm.
Is it a bad picture? Yeah. I
It
like
is.
that's such a weird first image to come out with. Like, but everyone crapped on like the image of Ben Affleck standing in front of his Batmobile, and that was a pretty sick shot.
Yeah.
So, we'll see when the movie comes out. The movie could be crap. So, I'm learning my lesson to temper expectations, but also hold my criticism.
Here's my random theory. This is only in my head. I think he put that out there to kind of drop your expectations, so he's
Yeah,
gonna blow expectations out of the water.
there we go. It is such a weird freaking.
Yeah,
It's a weird shot. Like, why? What's going on in the background? I bet none of that is actually in the movie.
I think so too. I think it's like literally just some sort of weird test shot just to see if you can get a little bit of feedback from his toxic fan base.
I think so. I think in a way, this bad publicity is still like
It's
good.
publicity.
It's publicity, yeah.
Yeah.
Sean also says no mentions of R.I.P.D., the greatest movie of all time. Have not seen it. Have not heard anything good about it at all. So I don't know. I think that one's gonna be on the back burner for a while.
Oh man. Oh, Sean chimed in on our Superman photo.
Godzilla in the back with the Kenergy. Yeah. Perfect reference to also one of the movies we covered
You know it.
where Sean mentioned, Godzilla got the Kenergy in that movie.
Can you feel the energy?
Superman putting on his boots like he's clocking in at 9 to 5. No, it's more like he's clocking out at 9 to 5. He looked a little rough in that.
Yeah, he did. He was like,
So
gosh, you just
so
gotta
I'm
let
not
the
going.
you gotta let the dogs breathe.
Yeah. It's like, dang. And it's like, why did I leave the farm? Where's Lana? I think like he's a young Superman, right? So it could still be Lana, but it's gonna be Lois in this movie.
Oh man, yeah. I wonder if we're gonna get the first what do you call it? First ever meet and greet with Lois and Clark,
See, I want it to be
or if it's in the middle of
okay.
their
Honestly,
dynamic.
I don't know if this is hot take,
Yeah.
I didn't feel the chemistry between Henry Cavill and Amy Adams.
Oh no, that's not a hot take at all.
Really? It's not?
No.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was manufactured. They tried to manufacture a little bit more in BVS too.
Yeah.
Uh, two as in TOO, not the second one. There was no BVS two, obviously. But yeah, I felt like they just tried to force a lot of it. And it was weird too because we keep talking about how the theatrical cut we barely got to see Superman, so all we got was the forced chemistry between the two.
That's true. Like their highest high was in Man of Steel, and even that was like,
Was not, yeah.
yeah. So I'm hoping Superman and Lois have that chemistry, and because, dude, in the cartoon that they've been coming out with now, My Adventures with Superman, heck, Superman and Lois.
Lois, yep.
So
Yep.
it's like if they can have chemistry in a cartoon and on TV, why not in the movies? Come on, guys.
Yeah. Just kind of a random aside since we were talking about Superman. I almost started Superman and Lois on my flight to Hawaii, but I couldn't get my headphones to connect to the thing. I didn't want to watch it
Oh,
with no audio and just subs. I
yeah,
thought it would have been really weird to just watch that, and I was like, "Damn it,
yeah, that would have been weird.
I'll save it." Yeah, but I was just trying to find something to kind of watch, and it looked appealing at the time.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel like in the superhero mode, like honestly, right, we were kind of scarce on good superhero content.
Yeah,
Superman, Lois, man, and
yeah.
this last season ended with a cliffhanger, so I'm hoping their fourth and final season will wrap up things nicely
Mm.
later this year. I think.
Sean says Amy Adams,
Not my
not my
Lois.
Lois,
And then he
and
follows that up with Kate
Kate
Bosworth from
Bosworth.
Superman, which is my Lois right there. I think that's a hot take
That's a
right there.
very scalding hot take. Holy outs! Ooh.
Oh, I think I just burned my whole arm off. More
Ow.
like he burned. Okay, that is a hot take right there.
That was very
I'm
hot
not
take.
actually like Superman Returns more than most. um, Kate
Who is
Bosworth,
your Lois, Jeremy? I mean,
that's
you
a
are more of a Superman connoisseur
dude.
than I currently am.
Smallville, probably Erica Durance,
Mm, okay.
right? I think like
I'm not mad at
she's
that.
like she's probably given that. Like I like um
Margot
the
Kidder.
the actor from Superman Lois also, but it's obviously like an older Lois, right, and older Superman. But when I picture like Lois and Clark, I think of Superman the animated series when they're like kind of in their prime,
Mm,
and the vibe that Erica Durance gave in Smallville, especially like later seasons too, like carried the later seasons.
mm.
Yeah.
Well, I always feel like her debut in season 4 gave that show a breath of fresh air.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In that, not that it needed it, but the first 3 seasons, they got progressively dark. you know,
Yeah.
Season 3 was probably the darkest out of the first 3 seasons, so that when she made her debut in season 4, it kind of freshened up the show a little bit in terms of getting a little bit more of a. It
Back
kind
to
of brought us back
Smallville.
to season 1, yeah,
Yeah.
season 1 Smallville. But true Lois,
Oh.
true Lois is Terry Hatcher.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
guys. I know,
He's
I know
going
it's a
with
little bit older, but we're going the adventures of what was it, Lois and Clark,
yeah, there you go.
with Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher. Look up Terry Hatcher in the mid-90s, and you'll know what I mean. I had
There
a
you go.
major crush on her in high school.
I mean,
You're
she
welcome.
gets first billing on that on the title right there, Lois and Clark.
Yes.
So
Yes.
there you go.
So Terry Hatcher will forever be my Lois Lane.
There you go.
But I don't disagree with yours and Sean's take. Well, his last take anyway. Erica Durant is bae for sure. Even
There you
now,
go.
she's aged really well.
Yeah, see, Sean agrees. Damn, Terry Hatcher, fair play. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sean has Google. He probably looked her up.
Yeah, that and Terry Hatcher. I forget what she was in beforehand. Before and because I think right around that time I was like, "Ooh, who's this?" I had to look up her IMDb, well, whatever it was called at the time.
In encyclopedia.
Encyclopedia. Oh shoot, it was called Alta Vista back in the day, or Lycos,
There you go.
or when Yahoo was still known for its search engine.
All right, I think with on that note,
Oh
when
shoot.
we're talking about Yahoo, I think that's the time when we're gonna wrap up the live
The
show and the live stream.
simmer. Oh, but no, but we got something else, don't we?
Oh yes, almost, because we're gonna finish off with one last thing. Ken, what do you want to share for our audience for tonight? Or I guess it wouldn't be tonight if we're watching tomorrow morning, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whenever
Well, live stream.
yeah.
Our live stream audience is all who counts. No, I'm just kidding. Don't listen to me. It's the witching hour right now, and I'm hooked up on a lot of meds and cough drops and coffee. Oh my goodness, there's a lot going on right now. Still a little. I still got brain fog. Anyway, my one last thing. I alluded to it on my real review in part one. The one thing I saw, I was really the first half of my double feature this past Sunday was I caught the Transformers 40th anniversary event,
Oh
which
shoot.
was shown at our local theater. Um, it was pretty amazing because this 40th anniversary event was based off of the fact that the Transformers cartoon debuted in 1984. And so what they did was they showed the very first 4 episodes of season 1 back to back to back to back. But especially that first episode, the pilot, they actually had the original voice actors, the ones that were still alive, and they had a mixture of, I guess, current voice actors kind of fill in for the ones that have been deceased since 1984. And so they actually had kind of like a split screen thing going on, and we got to see the actual episode, and then the voice actors kind of interacting. You got to see a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. You got to see, even before that, some of the early commercials and all that stuff, and then like kind of the impact that Transformers has had over the past 40 years. And I'm really glad that I just ended up having to pay just normal movie ticket prices, which was, I mean, it's kind of expensive nowadays, but I mean, it's just normal,
Mhm.
especially here in the Bay Area. But as a Transformers fan from way back in the 80s, yes, I'm that old, it brought back that nostalgia feels for me. And that's, I think, the reason why I was in that mode for If, when we were talking about kind of
Mm.
going back to your childhood. So in a weird way, it it was all about nostalgia that day. And so Transformers is 40 years old already. Holy crap. How old am I?
Well, yeah, they're coming out with that new Transformers 1 later this year on my one of my movies on my most anticipated list. So, man, that's pretty cool to watch that though.
Yeah.
The nostalgia is right there. For me, I'm watching random stuff, but was also I haven't rewatched it since it came out, and because it came out on Netflix just recently, The Accountant, starring Ben Affleck and John Bernthal. So yeah, that movie's pretty intense. You know, if those who want some like pretty good action, like fairly like simple story, I think the Accountant is will scratch that action genre itch. Because I also watched The Bricklayer, starring Aaron Eckhart. Very much, yeah, Rachel. Um, straight to DVD action, but that that I was like, okay, that itch is almost scratched for action. So I'm watching the accountant now.
You watched it for nostalgia too, because that's who you were supposed to be, weren't
Yeah,
you?
in a past life, I was Ben Affleck, with a doing the books and shooting 50 cals in a past life.
Oh, I'm just trying to bring back one last thing into a theme, so it's
Yeah,
nostalgia.
there you go, nostalgia right there. Okay, Ken. Next
Woo.
week we're gonna be talking about Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. So that's gonna be okay. That is next week for sure, right? I mess that up
Yes.
every time. Every time.
Yes.
But yes, everyone. Sean, last question. Ah, here we go. Our last comment for the night. Random movie I watched for no reason was Hidden Strike. John Cena and Jackie Chan. A
What?
Yeah, a duo I didn't know I needed. I watched maybe the first hour of that movie just because it had John Cena and Jackie Chan in it. It's a movie for sure. It's
It exists?
it exists. They're in a movie together. It's on Netflix. Hidden Strike. I haven't mentioned it ever before because I've never finished it. But let me know how that the rest of the movie goes, Sean. Not don't spoil it, but let me know if it's even worth finishing.
Oh shoot. Yeah.
That is
It
hella
just
random
recently
though.
it recently came out? What?
It was okay. This is weird.
2023.
I think it
Holy
was
crap.
shot like 8 years ago or something like that. Because if you watch the movie,
Oh.
John Cena is like pretty young, but they only released it like last year or
Oh,
something
so you
like
didn't
that.
have his bald spot yet, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, he was still rocking like the short hair John Cena look. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, interesting. Oh, it's starting to grow on the poster.
Yeah, it was like almost there, right? It's like he didn't go into the Fast and Furious franchise yet. It was in in movie hell for a little bit.
Why does it look like he has a fro in the
It's weird, man. Yeah. It's like they try to update it. Well, we're gonna
Oh
get a
shit.
little bit better action hopefully next week in Furiosa. But Ken, where can they find us also? I think next week, what time are we gonna be here?
Well, I think it's gonna be here on YouTube, right?
Yeah,
I
on
mean, about like
YouTube.
it's actually a little less time because usually we're doing these live streams on a Wednesday,
Yeah.
but
Oh, that's
today's
true.
special Friday night live stream.
Yeah, so we technically can't make the joke.
Yeah, we can't.
Oh, dang it. I was like, okay. Well, we'll
we we can talk about. Oh, we'll see you in a work week because that's
see.
5 days.
There you go. We'll see you in 5 days, guys.
No,
Just
in
make
a,
sure.
in a work week.
Yeah, yeah, in a work week. There you go.
Oh yeah, you're right. We can't do that joke. Damn it.
Okay, yeah. I think we ran the joke too long this stream. Anyway, guys, we'll see you next week for
Wednesday.
Furiosa and whatever topic that is next Wednesday. So we'll see you then on the real.